Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap on the little notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time another video comes up, which we're trying to get a bunch of them up. Want to also thank everybody for all the likes. We like likes. That's cool. Thank you. Anyway, here we are. And again, still catching up with a lot of things. In our last video, we went over adjusting this clutch on Cameraman Mike's Dyna. Usually I work on old bikes because that's what I ride. And then I get roped into working on other people's stuff like Mike's. And that's cool. This is a real nice bike. But anyway, so the clutch is all done and I just want to put the primary cover back on. The reason it's off is because I was lacing up a new wheel for Mike, and Mike said, okay, thinks he'll take advantage some more, takes his primary cover off, and we polished it for days. This is the sort of thing I call in favors and ask other people or try to put money together and pay them to do because I don't like to do polishing work. I can't breathe that stuff. I don't know how he did it, but he did a beautiful job of polishing some parts. I shouldn't complain. He's polished some for me, and he does a beautiful job. Anyway, so here we have a nice brand new primary cover. And the first thing to remember is right here is a gasket. It is mentioned in the service manual. You don't want to put it together without it. You will have a leak. What that is for, that piece there, that tower as they call it, is for the linkage if you have mid-controls, which some of the Dynas did. I don't remember which Dyna is which. I think this is just a straight Dyna, an FXD. And that's what this is. Anyway, so it's really nice the way they have these little mounting dowels here and all that sort of thing. And there's a nice new gasket, and it's in place. And you know, just for fun, you know, when I look at a gasket and it hangs down like this, it makes me a little nervous that I might miss some holes. Now, I've shown this little trick, which is not original. I didn't dream this up. This actually came from actually a student from MMI in Phoenix. And he showed me that. And it's just kind of like a no-brainer. Why didn't I think of that? I have no brain. But anyway, here it is. And just by putting a long stud, I have a few here, different sizes, different lengths. But all I want to do is just hold that gasket up. And it looks like it's going to do the trick. So I will now slide this cover on, this beautiful cover. And away we go. Wasn't that nice? The other thing is, while this is here, it can't fall off. So if I do a hands-free number here, it's not falling off. So now I can go ahead and put the screws on. And since Mike took it apart, rather than me taking it apart, I didn't know which went where, and so I was able to look in the service manual, and it showed me that there are 4 long screws, and the rest of them are short. So we'll put these ones with the nicest heads showing, which I'm sure is the way Mike wants it. And eventually we'll get some prettier ones on there. Those just aren't pretty enough. I like pretty stuff. And this bike is pretty. Okay. Sounds like somebody upset a dog out there. Must be that stupid dog across the street. Actually, I think he's a pretty smart dog. I think he's not getting any attention. Okay, these are the short ones. So we'll put all these pretty chrome ones in the top. And boy, that really does look nice. That was I think it was a dull powder coat was actually on that thing. And everyone is going to write in and say, what did you remove the paint with, Mike? So my question to you would be, paint stripper, huh? Okay. Paint stripper. Is that the stuff that I had here? Mm-hmm. Well, whatever brand it was, I honestly don't remember. All I know is if you're going to use it, use rubber gloves, and be sure that you don't breathe the entire time that you're using it. Now, I don't know what brand it was, so I don't want to say anything about it, but it was the kind of thing that would suggest things like, this stuff will cause cancer. You know, it's like a certain, that kind of, you know. Oh, take your hide right off, yeah. There's an expression I don't want to use on YouTube for what my old buddy used to call it. Okay. Well, you know, we really, you can almost see that one. Okay. Now, all I'm doing is just putting them in just a little bit snug, knowing that what we wanted to do was make sure we lined up the gasket real careful like. And I'm doing these with a speed handle. I'm not torquing them yet. But there. Now this one should come right out. And what a nice tool to have in there. That's just a 1/4-inch bolt with the head cut off. And then I ground the edge nice and smooth so no one will cut their hand on it. Especially me. Okay. Then there's, that way we can have all of them in there now. Okay, so now, the way the book calls out an order of tightening them, there is an order of a torquing sequence right here. This is one of our wonderful bookmarks. We use anything for a bookmark in the garage. And this, although it has something nasty on it, is a feather from a red-tailed hawk. And I have a pair of red-tailed hawks that live in a great big old tree over my bedroom. And I'm so honored that they live there. And whenever they drop a feather, I either put it on the wall or give it to somebody I love. It's a very cool thing. I like giving them to my stepmom. She loves them. Anyway, getting back to this thing, let's get real here for a minute. Okay, we have the tightening, the torquing sequence on the service manual here. And we have here shows the shorts and the longs. That's why I knew where they went, because I had looked at this. And it also says tighten primary cover fasteners to 108 to 120 inch-pounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start and go all the way around them. And I'm just going to start with 60 just to get them nice and even. And then I'll go from there. So I think I set this thing at 60. Yes, I did. And I start down here, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see if we can do this right. All right. I don't think I need this here. Okay, this is number 1, according to the service manual. 1. Now let me look one more time real quick. Okay. 1, 2. Now you want to be sure and get all your handprints on a new polishing job. 3. Did I say that? 4. Okay, we got to 4. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 5. 6. Come on, 6. Oops. 7. And 8. Oops. I keep doing that. 6, 7, 8. And then we go over here to 9, 10. Okay. 9. Oops, that's where we started. 10. 11. 12. And 13. It's nice to count, then you know whether or not you got them all. Okay, now we can go up to, what did I say I was going to go to? About 110? Yeah, 110 would make me happy. Yeah, I really, they're 1/4-inch bolts in aluminum. You don't want to start animaling things like that. And these are inch pounds. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. And 13. Okay, now want to check and make sure the plug is in place. It is. It was not removed, but the plug is in place. So now we can put a little fluid in here. You know what? I have too big a funnel here. Mike asked me, he said, "You want that big funnel or do you want that little gray one?" "No, I want the big orange one." Yeah, well, I was wrong. Okay. Making sure everything all the way through this thing is clean. Now, you know what? Let me get a wrench real quick. Because I remember doing these before. And it seems to me, if I pull this clutch in with my hand, and I rotate this thing, then I have room to push a funnel in there. Seems to me, if I'm correct. There it is. I'm going to have to hold it in place. But this thing takes, I believe, according to the book, 1 quart. Okay. And we'll get this done. And then I think that's about it for this thing. You know, other than putting the tire on it. And this is definitely primary oil, specifically primary oil. This is what the clutch is going to like and the chain is going to like in there. And there it is. And so it be. And you can see it in there. Let's see if I put a little light on that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know, when they first came out with wet clutches, when Harley first came out with wet clutches, they used to put in the manual and they used to tell you to get the oil level right to the bottom of that diaphragm spring. This big plate here, this big springy piece, that is the diaphragm spring. And, you know, then they changed it to a quart, and I look in there, and that's pretty much what it does, is comes right to the bottom of that diaphragm spring, so that's obviously where they want it, and I try to stick with the things like that they know what they're talking about. So I think in our next video, because this primary is all done, and boy, that's pretty, Mike. That really sets off the bike nice. So in our next video, I think what we're going to do is put a wheel on this bike, unless we're over working at Kenny's shop on that 65. Whatever comes up first, but we're going to get all these things done because my dog is screaming for her sidecar. And we're going to catch up and we're going to get that done so Sonia can go for a ride. But anyway, the wheel, I think, is the next thing on this thing and that bike at Kenny's shop. So until then, I'll see you out on the road.